We're going to start crocheting from the back panel. First, make a slip knot and chain to the desired width, which can be your chest measurement. And we're going to make double crochet into the back bumps. So you would flip the chains over and you would see like a bump at the back, and you just crochet into that back bump. The first double crochet would be made in the third loop from the hook. Do double crochet for all of the stitches in the row. Then we're going to make 2 chains, flip the work, and then double crochet into every stitch, and repeat this for every row until you reach the desired length. It's gonna take you a bit of time, but eventually you will finish the back panel. And don't cut off the yarn. We're going to keep crocheting the front panel. We're going to do the front panel and also connect the side. First, we need to figure out the neck part. So this is basically half of the neck circumference. So we just mark that part on the 2 sides of the neck opening. We're still doing double crochet and we're going to stop at the marker. So just do one side at a time. For one side, we'll be continuing the yarn, and the other side will need to attach the yarn, which I'll show later on. For the second row, chain 2 and then do double crochet into every stitch, which is basically the same thing like we did before in the back panel. Then again, make 2 chains and then double crochet until the end. However, for this row, the odd rows that are crocheting towards the neck part, we're going to do 2 double crochet in the last stitch. So this will gradually create a V-neck until we reach like around the middle of the body. For the next row and all the even rows that we are crocheting away from the neck, we're just doing chain 2 and then double crochet until the end. So there is no increase. As you repeat row 3 and row 4, the width eventually reaches around the middle, which is creating like half of the v-neck. So we'll stop the increase here, and from now on we only do chain 2 and double crochet to the end. Repeat that for every rows from now on until we reach the desired length of the cardigan. So that would be your front body length. This is what it looks like after finishing one side of the front body. Now, before moving on to the other side, we're going to join the seams, so join the back and the front first. You would need to measure the sleeve circumference and then mark where the sleeve would be on the sides. Then continuing the same yarn, we're going to join the two sides with single crochet. Here you would see that this is the wrong side, so when we wear this, we would need to flip it outside. After finishing one side of the front panel, then we move to the other side where we need to attach the yarn. But then the other process is just basically the same. Now we're going to do the sleeves and cuffs. First, attach new yarn to the sleeve part. So I attach it at the bottom where your armpit would be, and then just crochet around the sleeve area. Now we're going to do chain 2 and double crochet. So what I'm doing for the slips is that every 8 to 12 stitches, I do chain one and then skip one stitch, but that is not necessary, and you can just use double crochet like without any chain and skipping, just double crochet for the sleeve. This is the chain one and then skip one, do a double crochet. For row 3 to 7, I'm increasing the size of the sleeve, so this would create like the puffy look at the upper part of the sleeve. So if you don't want the puff look, you can just do the same double crochet. If you're not doing the puff sleeve, you can just do double crochet from now on, and you can skip straight to the cuff section and don't need to watch the rest of the sleeve. From row 8, I'm doing just the normal double crochet. And this is the same pattern as row 2. We would repeat the same thing until about half of the arm length. At the half length, we would repeat the same pattern, but without the chain one. So the sleeve width will decrease. And just do one row of decrease. After the decrease row, we would repeat the same pattern as before, so like row 8. When you reach the arm length, you can cut the yarn off and we're going to make the cuff. I'm making a chain of 16 to have about a 7 to 8 centimeters cuff, and you can change this number to your desired length. Then we're going to do half double crochet from the third stitch from the hook until the end and into the back bumps, which is like when we start the back panel for the cardigan. From row 2 until we reach the wrist circumference, we're going to chain 2 and half double crochet into the back loop. So you will see that there will be a front and a back loop. We're crocheting into the back loop of the V stitch. You would stop when it reaches around the wrist circumference, but there is not much worry because this ribbing style is flexible. Then we join two sides using slip stitch. You may need to flip things around in order to make it face the right direction. To join the cuff onto the sleeves, you would need a sewing needle or tapestry needle. You can do it with a hook, but it's easier to do with some kind of needle. So then it's very simple. We just need to do 2 to 3 of the stitches on the sleeve into one of the stitch on the cuff. Not much sewing skill needed. Like I'm literally just putting the needle under the sleeve stitch and then under the cuff stitch and then just pull through. Because they are the same color, so you can't really tell like the bad sewing. You may need to measure or count how many stitches is on the sleeve and how many on the cuff to get a more accurate number. So here I'm estimating 2 to 3 slip stitches into one cuff stitch, but it may be 4 to 5 for you. So you can estimate or you can count the exact number and match it up. I also made a long string with just chains, and then basically you thread it like a shoelace and will create like a corset look.